In response to a series of anti-Semitic incidents last year, the council created an anti-hate task force to examine the root cause of such violence. The task force is made up of 6 cohorts or interest groups from different communities in the county. There's a Black and African American group, a Latino and Hispanic group, Asian American and Pacific Islanders group, an LGBTQ group, a Jewish group, and a Muslim group. Mike, violence which is generated by a hate of any person or any group is reprehensible. What's ironic here is that Montgomery County has been in the forefront of the fight against discrimination and bigotry for decades, probably 40 to 50 years of leadership on this issue. So what are the goals of this task force? What do they hope to accomplish?
I think the goals are, to continue to grow as a community. I mean, you're right. We have been on the forefront of this for the last 40 or 50 years, and we as a community continue to be among the most diverse in the United States. And that's good, and that's also challenging. So that means we actually see we are truly a melting pot of all of these diverse opinions and perspectives. And I think the part that has been disconcerting to me personally, and I think to most of us, is over the last 4 to 5 years where we've seen a dramatic increase in hate crimes throughout the country, is we all thought we were beginning to make progress as we increased in our diversity. And the reality is we're seeing that there are still pockets of hate that exist in every community, no matter how diverse nor how forward thinking we like to think that we are. And so I think what this shows is it's important to, you can't just say we did it and therefore we're accepting. It's an ongoing day-to-day challenge, and we as a community have to accept that and realize that if we're going to be a diverse community, we have to continue to work on understanding everyone's perspectives and viewpoints and accepting those and working together to get there.
Well, I was kind of concerned when I saw the makeup of the task force. Mark, why is there not a coalition of Christian churches included in this group, considering there is, a Jewish representation and a Muslim representation? It would seem to me that Christian groups should be just as much considered and included in this, considering the fact that there has been damage at Christian churches that have occurred in the last year. And just the other day, FBI Director Christopher Wray testified that the FBI has actually seen a significant uptick in violence against pro-life centers, most of which are run by Christian groups, and that probably 70% of them have involved attacks on crisis pregnancy centers, not attacks on abortion clinics. So Christian groups are also being targeted. Why weren't they included?
Well, I'm not sure whether it's their target or not. I think faith-based communities of all characters have a role to play and have historically had a role to play in working to create communities that we all want to live in. So I certainly think they should be included for that reason. I'm a little concerned. I don't want to get into the kind of hierarchy of victimhood of then turning this into kind of whataboutism of trying to compare, your vandalism incident against my vandalism incident. I think there's a whole category of criminal vandalism that ought to be dealt with, whether it's hate-based or not, and we need to kind of stop it in the community and not kind of trying to engage in who's been damaged more compared to somebody else.
No, I guess that, yes, the point I would just continue, I think Mark is right that this is a challenge and we can't kind of one up the other. It's bad, and we need as a community to come together to address it, and we ought to have all perspectives at that table to make that really, really work. And it's a nonstop thing. It's nonstop activity, and we're going to need to continue to work at it to make better.
Yeah, look, I find what's going on in this these incidents of graffiti, or where there are attacks on churches or synagogues, just terrible. Really no place for it, and I show there's a lack of there's an ignorance on the part of people when they conduct such vandalism.